So here's the thing about goals. Your goals need to be so specific, very specific. Like last year, my goal was to buy a supercar, a white one. Put it on my phone so I could see it every day. Looked at it every day. It's a very specific goal. What happened? Bought a white supercar. Your goals need to be very specific, which means, think of the analogy when you're thinking about goals, putting on those glasses. Your goals should not bring you motivation. Goals aren't designed for motivation. Goals are designed for focus. Let me repeat that. Goals are designed for focus. You see, motivation, if you listen, I forget which podcast it is. I always forget what podcast number it is, but motivation is an emotion. It's very fleeting. You can get amped up. It's like an adrenaline surge, but that thing washes away quick. You can get amped up to do something, but can you do it over and over and over again without getting bored and burnt out? That's why motivation isn't it when you're trying to hit goals. Bam. Yo, what is up, everybody? This is the End-to-End Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Yun Win, also known as the Ninja or Prolific Ninja. And because I want you all to be my fans and friends, you can call me Ninja 2. This is the End-to-End Podcast, the alpha to the omega, the beginning to the end, talking about life, motivation, inspiration, success, entrepreneurship, and offering all these morsels in this all-you-can-eat buffet called life. First episode of 2023. I am so hyped, so excited. I just want to start the year off by saying thank you so much, everyone out there, for your support and your loyalty to the program. Let me just tell you what we've done in just a short few months. We started this podcast in March of 2022. To date, we closed the year out, and this is the low estimate, with over 500,000 views on all social media platforms, which just blows my mind. I just found this out not too long ago. It's more close to probably 750,000, but I'm going to be conservative at 500,000. Over 10,000 followers and subscribers on our platforms. I am just floored with the amount of love and support that you all have given me. I want to say thank you so much and start the year off with a notion of gratitude, just like how we started this podcast. It's all about gratitude. And so thank you so much. Your continued support is all I'm looking for. Liking, sharing, following, commenting. Share away. The more we share, the more the message gets out and the more inspiration that we can provide for our listeners, new and old listeners, because that is the goal of this podcast, is to inspire and affect the lives of billions across the planet to the furthest extent possible through this message of my experience and my journey, which you all are on with me. So thank you so very much. Excited to have this podcast, excited for the year to come. We've got a lot of things in store for you all, and I cannot wait to unroll those or unveil those to you as we develop them. We are working really hard into 2023, sprinting, as many of you have followed me, that was the goal into the winter of 2022. But with all that, to many of you all out there listening, by the time this podcast airs, today's July 4th, right? And I want to direct your attention to one thing, because we are now 1% done with 2023, right? You might say, just 1%, but 1% adds up to 2, adds up to 5, adds up to 10, and so on until the year is done and we're into 2024. So I have one question to ask you, one main question. What are you doing differently today than what you were doing on last Friday or last Saturday? Because last Friday and last Saturday was December 31st. And everybody goes into the new year, this is going to be the year. This is going to be the year. How many years have you said to yourself, this is going to be the year? Right? Everybody wants to set those big goals. Big goals. Hey, I'm going to lose 30 pounds this year. I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to get the promotion. I'm going to buy a supercar. I'm going to move into a mansion. I'm going to do all these grandiose things. Right? But what have you changed in your daily habits between last Friday or Saturday and today, because 1% of the year is already done, right? That was the importance, to me at least, of sprinting or getting that run into the last quarter of this year to jump straight into 2023 with a even more optimistic mindset and more momentum, right? Because if you're like 99.9% of the people out there, you spent Sunday kind of hungover and didn't do much. Watch football, right? Monday, you're still recovering, right? How many of y'all honestly hit the gym on Sunday? I did. Did you? How many of y'all honestly read a book or did something to improve yourself on January 1st? I did. Did you? I know several people in my close circle that did, but how about you? And there's this expression I like to use, and the expression is, nothing changes if nothing changes, right? Again, how many decades, let's say, for you older listeners, was it, this is going to be my year? Yet what has really changed in your life if you're in the same job, if you're in the same situation as you were 10 years ago? Because nothing changes if nothing changes. And that change has to originate with you and your mindset and what you want to do and what your goals are. You have to have the mindset that things are going to change if you want things to change. So if you've done nothing in the last 4 days, well, nothing's going to change for the next 361 days. You have to have that framework in your mind and remind yourself. I remind myself daily that nothing changes if nothing changes. So that's not my motivation, but that's just a reminder. Hey, you got to do something. You got to do something different. You got to do something more, something different, something that is moving me closer to what my goals are for this year and the next year and the next year. And let me say this other thing about 2023 and the year change, right? The reason a lot of you all don't achieve your annual goals that you want is because you always look at them as annual goals, right? And then you're so used to not achieving it that you become accustomed to not achieving the goals on an annual basis. And that's why the expression is, this is going to be the year. It shouldn't be that way. When you say this is going to be that year, that means you didn't achieve what you wanted to in all the years past. Why is that? Right? It shouldn't be this is going to be the year. Here's the hack for you. As you know me, January 4th is the same day as January 1st, is the same day as January 31st, is the same day as November 1st, is the same day as July 21st, is the same day as last January 15th, last January. Every day is actually the same day to me. There's nothing significant about January 1st. Yeah, people celebrate. It's a party atmosphere. Society is calling it the new year, which, you know, according to the Gregorian calendar, it is. But what has really changed? It's just another, you know, the number 2 became a number 3, and that's it. But in terms of results and consequence and getting things done and advancing your life, no day is different from the next day. And so the reason you're not achieving your annual goals, or the reason it's going to be this is the year, right, is because of the simple concept. And this is the hack. All you have to do is win the day. When every day is just like any other day, when you win that day and you win the next day and you win the next day and you win the next day, what do you think is going to happen? Right? And a win doesn't have to be a massive win on a daily basis. A win can be small and inconsequential. You learn something new. That's a win. You help somebody out. That's a win. Right? Each time you win, you're stacking bricks on your life's goal. And so all you got to do is win the day. And it's even smaller than that. I would challenge you as you go out throughout your daily life or your daily work or your daily business, find one thing you can win per hour. Small. And in your waking hours, let's call it 15 hours of waking hours where you're actually focused on improvement other than rest and, taking a break here or there or family stuff. That's 15 stackable wins in one day. How good is that going to make you feel about doing the next day and winning the next day and winning the next day? Right? You see, that illustrates a concept that I call chunking. Chunking, right? Breaking things down into the smallest manageable chunks. I'll give you an example. I started 75 Hard January 1st. So I finished the last cycle at the end of Thanksgiving, waited a little bit, and then started again January 1st. I would have started in middle of December, except for the fact that I had rallied a group of 30 other people from around the world to do 75 Hard with me. And so they all wanted to start January 1st, so I kind of deferred to the group's decision and started January 1st. Had it been me, I would have finished on November 9th, and this cranked it up again December 15th. But in any case, we started January 1st, and we're doing a group workout at 4 a.m. There's 10 of us in that 30 group, 75 Hard group, and yesterday's workout was a beast of a workout. And our trainer at the last minute threw in kind of a cardio exercise. It was only 5 minutes, but we had to do 12 V-ups within the minute. And however fast you did the 12 V-ups, which is an ab exercise where you basically fold up so your hands touch your toes, however fast that took, you would flip over and plank for the rest of the minute. And then the next minute, 12 V-ups, and the balance of that minute to a plank and so on. So only 5 minutes, 5 rounds. But by the second round, all of us were just writhing with cramps and pains in our abs, right? The challenge was actually the V-ups, not the planks. And so a lot of us were struggling with the V-ups. And so when you're flipping on the third cycle, so you've already done 24 and you've planked for grossly, like let's just call it 2 minutes. On that third set, I couldn't do 12 V-ups, right? So what did I do instead? I could have quit, which would have been sissy of me. I don't mean to say, I was going to say pussy, but anyway, that would have been soft of me to quit. And we don't quit in this deal. We don't quit in this game. So I broke it down to the smallest manageable chunk called chunking. So instead of looking at it, oh man, my abs are tight, I'm sore, the acid's built up, I'm cramping. Instead of saying, man, I got to do 12, I converted it and said, I just got to do 3. All I have to do is 3. And then all I have to do is 3. And then all I have to do is 3. Doing 3, 4 times is 12. But I convinced my brain that all I needed to do was 3. Because you see, instead of doing one big set of 12 and calling that a win, I did 4 sets of 3 and got 4 mini wins and got the job done. Chunking. Break down your goal in the smallest chunks possible. Right? Same thing. That's how I do all my workouts, actually, frankly. If I've got a set of 10, I do 5 sets of 2 with heavy weight. If I got a set of 20, I break it down to what my body could tolerate. It could be 5 sets of 4, 4 sets of 5. It could be 10 sets of 2. But I don't look at the big picture. I find the nearest immediate goal I can hit that adds up to the larger goal. Chunking. So why do I say this? Going back to winning the day, right? Break it down. Break it down to smaller segments of time and win that smaller segment of time. Find a way. Find something to win at, right? If you wake up, I don't know, at 6 a.m., try to win that hour block that you wake up. Read something. Do some stretching, yoga. Walk around the neighborhood real quick. Do something to win that hour. And even if you fail the rest of the day, you won something that day. And so the next day you add on to that win, right? As much as society will try to convince you that winning isn't everything, life is actually about winning. Winning is everything when it comes to life, because nature is survival of the fittest. And the fittest means the winner. It's survival of the winner, not survival of the fittest. It's survival of the winner. We have to condition ourselves to win. And that's the bottom line if you want success. So you have to win each day, win those moments and stack them up. And then you can stop saying, this is going to be the year. You can start saying, last year was a great year. This is going to be a better year. That should be your annual New Year's resolution. I'm going to make next year even better than last year. I won so much last year, I'm going to win even more this year. That's what it should be. It's not, this is going to be the year I'm going to make the change. This is going to be a year better than even last year. And let me give you one last tidbit about goals. I was thinking about this as I'm thinking about this podcast. Goals, right? A lot of us have these grandiose goals. I'm going to buy a new car. I'm going to get a better job. I'm going to get a promotion. I'm going to make $1 million. I'm going to move in a mansion, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The problem with those kind of goals is, one, they're really vague. And it's very hard to hit vague goals, right? Let's imagine you're on if you shoot guns like I do or whatever, if you hunt or whatever, and I wear glasses, so I need corrective lenses. Imagine 20 yards down, I'm trying to hit a target this small, but I don't have my glasses on, and it's all a blur. The image 20 yards down is very vague. I see shapes and colors, but I can't see the pinpoint target. What are the odds I'm going to actually hit that target? Almost next to none. If I get lucky, I might hit it, but almost next to none. But if I put on my glasses and I can visualize that pinpoint center of the target, then I've increased the odds I'm actually going to hit it because I can actually see it, right? So here's the thing about goals. Your goals need to be so specific, very specific. Like last year, my goal was to buy a supercar, a white one. Put it on my phone so I could see it every day. Looked at it every day. It's a very specific goal. What happened? Bought a white supercar. Your goals need to be very specific, which means, think of the analogy when you're thinking about goals, putting on those glasses. Your goals should not bring you motivation. Goals aren't designed for motivation. Goals are designed for focus. Let me repeat that. Goals are designed for focus. You see, motivation, if you listen, I forget which podcast it is. I always forget what podcast number it is, but motivation is an emotion. It's very fleeting. You can get amped up. It's like an adrenaline surge, but that thing washes away quick. You can get amped up to do something, but can you do it over and over and over again without getting bored and burnt out? That's why motivation isn't it when you're trying to hit goals. It's focus. Because when you focus on something, you can consistently do things over and over again to hit that target. You can consistently create small wins when you're focused in, and over time, you're going to hit that target. So goals are for focus, but then here's the second thing about that, and the analogy about getting small wins, right, is that goals are not objects to obtain. They're not things to obtain, right? It's not something to reach for. Goals are the natural result of your work and your progress and your wins. You see, I had a goal of buying a white supercar, but it wasn't the idea of buying a white supercar that allowed me to do that, right? For those of you who want to know, it's a McLaren 650S. What got me to that supercar was understanding that I have to make a lot of mini wins along the process in order to me to achieve that goal as a byproduct of the process. Right? Again, nothing changes if nothing changes. If I didn't change my habits, my focus, my wins, I would never have hit that goal. My law firm, we've had the best record year ever. If we hadn't changed our process, if we hadn't focused on small wins along the way of helping our clients, we'd never have hit that record year. So you see, it's all intertwined, right? And so we still got time. It's only 1% of the year done. Rethink how you're going to live the balance of the next 361 days. This is January 4th. Rethink that. Am I setting the right goals? Is there enough specificity and focus in that goal for me to hit? I want to get rich. I want to get a new job. Well, what is that new job? Why do you want to get the new job? How are you going to get the new job? What does rich mean to you? Specifically, is it another $10,000? Is it another $10 million? Is it $100 million? Okay, whatever it is, how are you going to get there? What are you going to do? What's the individual wins you got to hit to get that? And let me just say, the grander the goal, the bigger the individual wins need to be, the more significant the incremental changes need to be. If my goal is to, get another 10 million, but my individual win is to make $1 a day, the math doesn't add up. Right? So the bigger the goal, the bigger the incremental win, the bigger the chunks you gotta get through. Right? I want to lose weight this year. Okay, well, how many pounds? Is it weight or is it body fat percentage you want to lose? And if so, how much? And what are you going to do to change that? Are you going to focus on your diet? You're going to focus on your exercise, your fitness? You're going to focus on both? Okay, if it's your diet, what are you going to change about your diet? Is it going to eat more, protein-based, more meat? Is it, more, less calories? What is it going to be? Is it your fitness? Okay, what are you going to change about that? Are you going to lift heavier, lift more reps? Are you going to do more CrossFit, calisthenics? What is it going to be? Again, nothing changes if nothing changes. You have to focus on what is going to change in order to get change. And focus on those changes in incremental chunk blocks, chunking it, and get those individual wins. And then you're going to see that change. Okay? Man, 2023 is going to be exciting. Exciting for the podcast, exciting for my life. I'm very much looking forward to it. There are so many good things around the corner. I cannot wait to share them with you. I wish you all the best of success and possibilities and opportunities in 2023, meeting the right networks, finding the right opportunities for growth, personal development, your families, your health, all that. It's going to be a great year. And that's not to say it's always up. There's going to be challenges up and down, but it is going to be a great year. Actualize that, manifest it and actualize that. It's going to be a great year. And I'm so excited to share this journey with you all. I'm so grateful and thankful to have you on this journey with me as we look to inspire as many people around the globe as we possibly can. Our reach is global. Believe that. And we have people listening from all over the world, all walks of life. I'm so thankful for the initial success we've had. We're just getting started, y'all. But if you found this valuable, please share the show. Share the show. Like, comment, and so on. But sharing the show helps us grow. I like that, actually. Sharing the show helps us grow. So please share the show. If you have any questions, always email me. ask@the2npodcast.com. ask@the2npodcast.com for our prolific Q&A or any other questions. Please, if you want to share your goals with me, send them to me. I will make sure to reply and help keep you accountable to these goals. If you want me to help you break down your goals into those chunks, what you got to do to win, email them to me and I will do my best to try to help you achieve those small incremental wins. It's all about sharing the love, the success, and that's part of the mission of this podcast. So I'm just super excited for 2023. Looking forward to bringing you a lot of great content, a lot of new ideas, and a lot of success. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you again next week on the End to End Podcast.